On 7 News tonight, Sydney celebrates Christmas. Thousands pack church services as the Wiggles help spread the festive cheer. First on 7, a man knocked unconscious during a vicious brawl on a street in Brighton Le Sands. 5 people winched to safety after a boat capsized near Batemans Bay. And a special guest helps with the final preparations for the Sydney Hobart.
This is 7 News at 6 with Robert Ovadia.
Good evening and Merry Christmas. For many, it is the most anticipated day of the year, Christmas Day. A day of fun, giving, loving, presents and kindness. Above all, it's a time for family. We celebrate it in our homes, at the beach, in parks, and some chose to spend the day away from their own families to give cheer to those who have none.
Today, some very special kids got a very special Christmas cheer. Dozens of little patients were treated to a personal bedside performance by some colourful friends.
We come and try and give a bit of Christmas cheer to them, maybe make them smile for a couple of seconds.
So you saw his face, it's just absolutely... He's so happy. Yeah.
For those less fortunate, finding a hot meal and a hug wasn't far away. The Salvation Army put on a spread fit for a princess.
What do you love about Christmas?
I like presents and lovely candy.
It's just amazing what the Salvos do for the kids.
And for the adults too.
When I look around at the faces of the people here and note their expressions, that moves me deeply, actually.
An event like this wouldn't be possible without about 150 volunteers serving lunch to 1,500 people with a little bit of love and a whole lot of cheer.
Across the city, there was plenty of cheer at the Exodus Foundation's annual Christmas lunch.
Everyone knows there's someone here who cares about them.
As the young and old walked away with more than they could carry. Putting politics aside, Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull joined carolers at the Wayside Chapel. Wishing those across the country a Merry Christmas.
God bless you all. Thank you.
For those celebrating in the sun, surfing and selfies, barbecues and beers were on the menu. But it was at home where the real magic unfolded. Kids raced to discover what Santa left under the tree. Even their pets didn't want to miss out on getting a present, as prawns and pies filled plates sky high. Another magical Christmas day gone by. Samantha Brett, 7 News.
Christmas started very early for some this morning, with hundreds of churchgoers coming together at midnight mass services across the city. Crowds joined together in prayer and reflection, with religious leaders offering messages of hope, love and generosity.
A vision of Christmas, bringing light to midnight and the faithful to the city's churches to begin the day with the beginning of their belief.
A very holy and very happy Christmas to you, all your families.
And through the morning, some gatherings were standing room only on this day of symbols and symbols.
We've been so caught up in the commercial side of the whole celebration. Now we come to what's really all about this day.
No matter what tribe or nation or tongue, no matter what age or stage.
Using the Force.
A long time ago, in a Galilee far, far away.
They celebrated the birth of Jesus Christ under LED light and spotlight. After a year of dark times.
But whether it be Beirut or Paris or San Bernardino or in Parramatta in the police station, the message of Christmas is that God shines into our darkness.
We pray that you might bring peace where there is war, compassion where there is need.
Those that are not lucky like us, that don't have a home, don't have a work, a job.
Wherever people have gathered, today has offered the chance to reflect on what's happened and what's important and to share hope for a better tomorrow.
Each one of us are brothers and sisters. That's the amazing thing about it all. We're all so closely connected to one another.
And just be happy to be together to celebrate Christmas.
Let's hope next year will be better for everybody.
Paul Caddick, 7 News.
We have breaking news for you now out of Victoria. A building has been destroyed in a fire raging out of control at Lorne in the state's southwest. An emergency warning is in place, with nearby residents warned it is now too late to evacuate. Hundreds of holidaymakers and residents have already fled the town to safety. Firefighters have managed to contain another fire burning at Sunbury, north of Melbourne. The warning there has been downgraded to watch and act. An unattended Christmas lunch has sparked a house fire in Granville, forcing 7 people to evacuate. Fire crews were called to the property after gas bottles being used for cooking ignited.
Apparently the people inside the house heard some popping noises, and we believe the fire was accidental in that the LPG cylinders hoseworks caught fire.
The blaze also damaged a neighbouring home before it was brought under control. One girl was treated for shock, but nobody was injured. For retailers, today is a much-needed day off before the crush of the Boxing Day sales. Big crowds are expected to mob department stores tomorrow in a rush to bag a bargain. In a first, all shops around the state are allowed to open their doors.
Every year there are the early starters, ready for the mad dash for the department store doors, in the retail race to bag a Boxing Day bargain.
The doors open at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, but you can shop online now if you want to get in a little bit earlier.
All signs are pointing to a post-Christmas blowout this year, with shoppers tipped to spend $2.3 billion at the sales. While many family budgets will be feeling the effects of the festive season splurge, shoppers are still expected to spend around $17 billion between Boxing Day and January 15. That's up 4% from last year. That jump can be put down to changes to trading hour laws in New South Wales. This year, for the first time, all stores across the state will be allowed to open tomorrow.
A centre like Parramatta that in the past was unable to be open will be open on Boxing Day, as will all the other regional centres.
I think because there's more retailers trading, it's going to be a big Boxing Day and it'll be a big sale period.
But experts say the best discount may not necessarily be the best buy.
Just because it's a discounted price, it is not really wise to go and spend money and then later on either you just put it in your storage.
Adine Cassidy, 7 News.
It's been a quiet Christmas day for those preparing to set sail in the Sydney Hobart tomorrow. High winds and choppy seas are forecast, and for one special crew, the race is more about accomplishing dreams than line honours.
There are a few teams as close as the crew on board the yacht Kale, run by sailors with disabilities.
It's the culmination of a lifelong goal, and so they may not have this opportunity again. So we have a lot of optimism and hope and expectations.
There are 16 members of the team, half are living with a disability. Paul Palmer has a degenerative eye disease and won't be able to drive a car next year.
My job on board is the traveller, which controls the position of the boom.
The Sailors with Disabilities crew has spent 9 months training for this year's race. Like many of the other smaller teams, all on board are breathing a sigh of relief. This year's weather won't be as bad as first thought.
Maybe just one night of a bit of rough seas, but even if we get 4 or 5, it's, we can relax after that.
This will be the 22nd year the crew has competed in the Sydney Hobart.
Celebrated around the world, the Pope's message to Catholics is next on 7 News. Plus, the US swelters through a winter heatwave as tornadoes lash the south. And what caused this explosion on a quiet suburban street? Millions of Americans are facing a bleak Christmas after tornadoes and severe storms tore through the south and Midwest. At least 11 people are dead, including a 7-year-old boy, and entire neighbourhoods are now flattened.
It's supposed to be a time when families celebrate the holidays together. Instead, communities are grieving after deadly storms carved through Middle America.
Oh, I think that's a tornado brewing up.
The unseasonal system spawned at least 24 tornadoes, including twin twisters.
Oh, wow.
Mississippi was the hardest hit. 7 lives lost, including a 7-year-old boy.
Oh,
One twister there was on the ground for more than 160 kilometres. The strong winds flipped a semi-trailer. These storm chasers almost got too close.
Still coming right at us. All right, let's go.
They fled as a massive funnel cloud barreled towards them.
Every house just about around us is gone. It's still standing, but it's not going to make it.
Search crews are still looking for victims.
We just out here trying to go through the mangled up mess of the trees, and it's just a disaster. Families have lost loved ones. Funerals will be planned. But this should be a joyous holiday season.
In Tennessee, 3 people died and many homes were destroyed.
Everything that they own and have worked for all their life is scattered down the hill, from mattresses to teddy bears to medicines.
In Arkansas, 18-year-old Michaela Miles was killed when a tree fell through her house. She was shielding her 18-month-old sister, who is expected to be okay. Twisters too in Illinois, where they're usually digging out from winter snowstorms. The same system battered Georgia and Alabama with heavy rain. In New York City, they ditched heavy winter coats for T-shirts and shorts. The extreme weather also caused massive delays at airports on one of the year's busiest travel days. In the United States, Angela Cox, 7 News.
A little over a week since a tornado ripped through Kurnell, locals have come together to celebrate the holiday season. Despite some people losing everything, the community has rallied, with one family determined not to let the storm dampen their Christmas cheer.
9 days ago, a freak tornado ripped through Kurnell.
Oh, look at all the branches!
It was like something out of a Hollywood blockbuster, but the damage was real.
Unheard of. Like, crazy.
A week and a half on, and grandmother of 23, Carol Edwards, is hosting Christmas, something she thought wouldn't be possible after the damage her house sustained.
We do this every year, but we all don't get together. But it's awesome to think what has happened in the last week, that we are here together today.
The family's car was destroyed in the storm. This morning, Santa did his best to deliver a replacement, although this one might not be big enough.
I got my car!
Despite the roof being blown off and the cars being smashed, it was business as usual today for the Edwards family. And to Carol, or Nan as she's known, that's the most important thing in the world.
I wanted to pack everything away, but my kids here said no, it must go on. I must admit this morning that I am a lot happier. It is Christmas.
And despite his beloved car being written off, Carol's son Matthew isn't letting it ruin his Christmas.
We get over it, you know. We like to scrap it or we fix it, you know, like we fix everything else, I suppose.
No matter what happens, it will be impossible to dampen this family's spirit.
3, 2, 1.
Peter Fegan, 7 News.
A car explodes just moments after its tank was filled up. More of these incredible pictures soon on 7 News. Plus, drones, the popular holiday gift. We reveal if they are safe and even legal. And how to return those unwanted Christmas gifts. That's next.